Peace, family. Adam Jackson here with another episode of the Sacred Sons podcast. Brothers and sisters, as we are expanding globally, I'm so proud to announce that we are finally bringing this work home and inviting in our brothers and sisters. That's right. Men and women are invited to Sacred Sons Convergence 9 Remembrance. This event has been a long time in the making, and tickets are finally on sale. We have some incredible men and women leading this experience. So stay tuned to the podcast for more information where I'll be sitting down with some of our leaders. Go to sacredsons.com, click on Convergence 9, register today. We are calling in 500 men and women to Olympic Peninsula, Washington, September 19th through 22nd, where the forest meets the ocean, the masculine meets the feminine. Use the code all caps, REMEMBER20 for 20% off. That's good until May 1st. And with that, many of you know at Convergence 8, we had a Spanish-speaking team. And that is because there is an entire brotherhood, specifically led by our brothers in Mexico, Manu Llaguno and Yvonne Gonzalez, joined by Fabian Realization Nation Rodriguez. This is an incredible conversation where they talk about the culture and the community that's being built with Sacred Sons in Mexico en Espanol. Join them at EMX Tepoztlan, August 15th through 18th. Tepoztlan is one of my favorite spots in the entire sphere of Sacred Sons. We've been all around the world, and if Mexico calls to you, join this incredible experience. And for the first time, we are headed to Medellin, Colombia, October 17th through 20th. Colombia Sacred Sons is coming for you. We will see you there. Go to sacredsons.com, click on events, choose the event that you would like to participate in, and we will see you on the other side. Much love, family.
Good morning, Soul family. Ivan Gonzalez here in Tepoztlan, Mexico. I'm joined by my brothers Fabian Rodriguez and Manu Llaguno. And we're going to be talking today about Sacred Sons in this sacred land, Tepoztlan. But first, I would like my brothers to introduce themselves. Fabian.
I'm Fabian Rodriguez from Los Angeles, California area. Happy to be here in Tepoztlan with you guys on this beautiful land. Returning, this is our fourth time. Yeah, so we're putting some roots down here. Honestly, it's been an honor to have been out here with the brothers and just starting this. I feel like it's just the beginning. And we're here and exploring Mexico and tapping into the magic that is what it is, and welcoming all these brothers that are out here. So I'm just excited to continue and dive deeper with you guys, and with all of Mexico and South America. We'll talk about that some more.
Manu Llaguno from this land, from Mexico. And man, I'm so excited to be with you guys again. It's been like something that I've been waiting for, you know? It's like I've been waiting for this moment once again, like every year, get together in brotherhood and Hermandad, just connect with your hearts, with sus corazones. Man, I feel so grateful to be here. And I remember the first time we talked about this and how the prayer has been evolving, and now it's the fourth time, and all the brothers coming in from all over Latin America. A lot of brothers coming in from Venezuela, Puerto Rico, a lot of places. Colombia, Chile, everywhere. So that's like, oh man, I'm so excited that it has been such a journey of personal growth and brotherhood and community in these lands. And I'm so grateful once again.
Thank you, brothers. Before we begin, I would like us to drop into our hearts. So I would invite us to take 3 deep breaths in, one for ourselves, deep breath in. One for this land, deep breath in. And one more for all the brothers that out there wanting to join. Deep breath in. And with that, I would like us to check in. Where are our hearts in right now? Before we begin this beautiful ceremony with a lot of brothers coming, as Manu said, from all Latin America and from all over the world. We had brothers from Germany, we had brothers from France, from Brazil, so different languages, and it's all happening here. So before we begin this ceremony, what's in your hearts, brother?
I feel like every time I come here to Mexico, I feel like we're just beginning. I feel like I can see I know what's coming, but yet it's still unknown, but I have a good feeling. And so every time I get back here, it's like a confirmation for me that it's like, oh, we're on the right path. We're on the right timeline. We're creating it, and anything that comes our way is exactly the way it's supposed to be. So I'm feeling confidence. That's what really every time I come here, it's like this, oh yes, this is exact, and it's easy. It feels like we're plugging in and the land is supporting. I feel like everything is in our favor to do this. The right people are showing up, the support, the land, everybody's showing up in a good way out here. So the excitement for me that I feel is who else is out there is the next one to come in, so somebody out there is on their way here, whether it be now, next year, wherever that is, but it's the call is out, the call's already been down, just blowing the conch, it's they're hearing it. And so I have this excitement within me that it's just right now, it's just the starting point. So I'd have to say I'm checking with that confidence of confirmation sprinkled with excitement. How's that? Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's flourishment and growth. Because I see it the first time we came in, I remember that I had this dream of just putting my hand and saying, this is for Mexico, right? And just planting that seed, and planting that seed, and we all planting that seed together and putting the dirt on top of the seed, and then watering it and see how it's breaking through, how it's rooting, how it's starting to flourish, and how it's expanding and growing. That's just beautiful to see more brothers stepping in. Also knowing that there's a lot of brothers already that are walking a path of threshold and leadership. Yep. So you start seeing leaders coming out from this tree, and then the community starting to grow, the community starting to get, it's building bigger. And it's so beautiful also to be witnessed and to witness other brothers' growth within this space. We see them every year come in, and you see them different. So you have to know somebody else. So it's oh, what's up with you now? What's going on with that? So that's why for me it's growth and flourishment, because you see this man's hearts flourish, grow, and start expanding. And this is expanding. I mean, Mexico, I think, is just the starting point of Latin America. But man, I see Colombia. I see more things happening this year. This is where I'm at.
Yeah, brothers, I agree with both of you. I am checking in with a lot of proud. I'm very proud of what we've built in this land. And especially what we built between us, this brotherhood, each time we come here and we share this ceremony with a lot of brothers, I feel more and more support. I remember the first time we were here, it was all chaotic and where's this? How can we do this? And just starting to integrate. And now it feels solid. It feels like we got it, and we're ready for these brothers. And also I agree with that growth piece, just seeing the changes in every brother's face, in every brother's life, but also in myself.
Yeah.
I also knowing that each time I come here, I'm a different man and I'm an improved man, and I still have things to work in, and I get to work on those things right here in this place with you, in this sacred land, which almost feels like it's welcoming us. It's always kind of hugging us, this mountain. We've prayed so much here. We've done so much work. We've sweat. We've shed tears. So I'm just excited. I'm proud of what we built. And looking forward for what's to come for all of Sacred Sons and this brotherhood in Spanish, in Latin America, in other places, and seeing all these leaders also popping out and stepping in and allowing us also to kind of step back and seeing other brothers' medicine and sharing their medicine. So with that, I am in. And let's dig deep, brothers, into the work that we are creating here. What has been the impact, especially for you, Fabian, that you've worked a lot in English, in the US, in Scotland, you've been around, and this is a different place, you know it, this land holds a special energy. So what can you tell us is the impact in you, and what's the difference between other places and the language and the brothers?
Well, first off, there's a deep connection from myself and not just Mexico, but all Latin America. Just, you know, my lineage coming from Colombia. There's a special place in my heart for it, you know, for the depth of the richness here, of the people, the language, the food. And I've also seen the importance of bridging, you know, back North America, let's say, the United States, the bridge, creating this bridge. Because there's a lot of people have forgotten some of these roots back home. And they have deep ancestral roots here and in Latin American countries, and they've forgotten. They've forgotten those ways. They've forgotten their ancestral wisdom. So we're actually offering this space, we're creating this opening for them to even step into that connection, not just a deep connection of like where you're working in your life, but also like, what about your ancestral connection to your lands, you know? And so I've been able to blessed to witness these guys coming from back home, United States, from Los Angeles, coming to Mexico and going like, oh my gosh, this is like where my parents were born, their parents, my great-grandparents, this is in my blood. And that I've seen it activate something deeper in them, which is like that's like the blueprint. And then you do the work on top of that too, because then you're understanding like, oh, well, if you don't know who you are, where you come from, you don't know where you're going and what you're going to be. So I'm seeing these guys, you know, and even myself. So let's take it to me here, is seeing my connection of deepening my roots of like, oh yeah, like the depth of the people that came before me, you know, and not just this land, but also that's why I have that vision of Colombia, like that's coming. I'm like, ooh, what's going to activate me going down there, you know, connecting with my family's ancestral lineage and that. So I've been holding that prayer, you know, and this is like us here every time we gather, it really is a reminder of like these prayers being answered, because I remember it must have been maybe like our third year in Sacred Sons, and I think it was maybe it was a Convergence in Tacumba out, and we were out in a fire at night. All the brothers gathered around, and me and Adam were sitting there by the fire, and we're looking up at the stars. And I remember we're like, oh, the ancestrals are looking at us. They're happy, like they're smiling down on us, and we're like, yeah, and we're just like dreaming about like, imagine if this is like all over the place and in Europe and all that. And then I remember we're like, what about EMX and MEX? Imagine that. And that seemed like, wow, that would be awesome. You know, and I remember that moment. And then here we are, you know, so now I can see how it connects back to that time, like the past, and now we're living in the present of that prayer. So I know that whatever we set now is going to happen, you know, like the future's happening now, basically, you know. So So I see the importance of bridging all that. So we're creating these bridges so that people could cross easier.
Yeah.
Because it'd be hard to kind of tap back into remembering where you come from. Because even our parents have forgotten.
Yeah.
Even that chain has been severed somewhere, And so, like, we're the ones actually returning and digging in now. We're, like, digging the soil up and like, fertilizing it again. And so who's that for? Our next generations, even. So we're at a very amazing point in this, with Sacred Sons, with the collective, with the world. We're starting to dig deeper and not just clean out the soil, but also put new seeds down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to build it from that one, because the bridge is not only happening from the U.S. to Mexico, but within Mexico, right? There's a lot of things of like, yeah, you're a whitexican. Yeah, you are indigenous, your skin tone, or that and this, and getting that colonizer mentality that just because you're white, then you're coming in to colonize me. And all of that is like bridging the gap and taking that away out of our minds. That is not helping us connect deeper into our roots, because at the end, we were born in this land. And this land has stories. This land has a culture. This land is rich in culture and ancestral ways. And I feel like we've disconnected from that, even us living in Mexico. And there's a lot of separation just because of the colors of our skin. Yeah, just because you're white, you cannot pray the way the Mexicas, the Toltecs, well, the Olmecs used to pray. Why not? It's still in my blood, And also having men remember that and be like, man, let's all connect to this peace, to this land, to our ancestral ways. Because we're both. We have both the colonizer and the indigenous in us. So it's time to bridge that together and make peace with that. And I think this is what we do. Because we sing here the same songs, we're creating culture. And it's a different way of culture, because it's about unity, it's about brotherhood, it's about singing, it's about praying. It's just bringing back the old ways into the future. And merging that together without being any separations. And sharing the stories of, like, I think our stories are medicine. So when you share your story or you hear somebody else's story, it hits. It hits. And when that happens, you understand that we all go through a lot of shit. We all go through a lot of things. And we're not so different as we think we are. It's just, we think we are. I mean, yeah, we're original, right? The remembrance, we're original, and there's not going to be anybody else like us living this lifetime, right? And experiencing what we're experiencing. But at the end, we're going through a lot of tough things. And I think it's about remembering. Remembering our origins. Remember where we're coming from. Remember our humanity. That we're humans. Pretty much, right? And for me, this is a space of sacredness. Es algo sagrado. Es del corazón. It is coming together to create this new way of sharing, like the ancestors did. I mean, in the old ways, they would travel to other cultures, and they would bring medicines, they would bring prayers. And that's what we're doing. Because you brothers that are coming from the US, you're bringing prayers, and you're taking prayers back home. So we're sharing, right? So it's just beautiful, man. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so grateful to be a small piece of this, that it's moving a lot and fast and expanding. Colombia, brother, let's make it happen this year. Let's make it happen this year.
Latin America, we're coming.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would like to also add and build on this remembering topic, because I think it's so important. I think that's what we're doing here. And I like to bring it back to the roots. The etymology of the word in Spanish, it's a sense of passing something back through the heart. So that means remembering, it does not happen in the mind. It happens in the heart. At least in Spanish, going to the etymology of the word, right? So it's, as you said, as you brother said, like what we're doing here is connecting men to their hearts. And that's what's going to make them remember, because the information is in the land. The information is in their hearts, in their bloodline. That's why we call información genética, genetic information. It's in there. You just have to, I just have to pass it through my heart. And actually, these trees, remember, these trees, this is the place of birth of Seacatl, Topiltzin, Quetzalcoatl. It's very sacred. And that's what we're doing. We're remembering together. When we sing those songs, we're remembering our grandpas. We're bringing them back to life with those songs. And when I receive another song from another land, we're integrating all that. I think it's time in the world for that. It's no longer time for, colonizer, colonize. Of course, it's important to remember. It's important to know. But how can we bring it together? How can we make peace with it? Because we're seeing out there wars. And it's not wars between people. We know this. It's between governments and other interests, So how can we as people, as brothers, come back together and remember the future together, build it together? And I think that's what we're doing here. That's what we are creating. We're creating culture. We're creating brotherhood. So when we come out of this place, we can actually bring this work to our wives, to our neighbors, to our communities, because that's what matters. It's not in here. In here, we get a training ground. We get to release. We get to train. We get to do all this beautiful ceremony and work. But what matters and the real ceremony is not in here. It goes out there. How are you stepping into your own life? And that's what we are creating in this land, in this culture, in this country that has given us a lot of welcome and embraced us. And with that, I would like us to share a little bit about what's the main impact about the work that we have been doing here in your daily lives.
I would have to say the expansion of not only my perspective of the world, of like how connected I am to the other side of the world that maybe I've never even been to, of what's happening to a brother out there, because as humans, we all experience the same thing, maybe different things, but I think of like how much I can think of somebody that I don't even know. And then also bringing it all the way to the micros when somebody walks through the door and I meet them for the first time also. I'm like, oh, I don't know him, but I know this guy. It's me. And so I've seen myself really, I guess I would have to say just the expansion of my compassion, the capacity to hold that. That it's not just me always, going from like this more of a selfish way of being into a selfless way of being has been a part of my journey. Has been a major part for me, is like learning to be more selfless. Like until the point that I've felt where that became more of just the way of being. I get more out of that because people also open up their doors to me, and my life becomes this like amazing experience because I'm opening up to others too. I'm allowing people in and also welcoming them, and they welcome me in their house also, so to say. And by the house, I mean like into their hearts. And so, and it's also not easy because there's a lot of pain out there, and I feel that also. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, how can I help this, on the other side of the world, what's happening right now? You know, like that's been challenging. I'm like, how do I hold that space? Like, what could I do? You know? And so part of me is like, well, what I could do right now is welcome the brother that comes in, you know? Because not maybe, I believe this to be true, that ripple effect. I might not even see what the ripple effect is. I might not even be here to see what happens in years to come. But I do know that ripple effect will go all over the place. And so this is I feel that with Sacred Sons, it's been a grassroots from the very seed, and look where it's at now because the ripple effects are going out. So these tentacles of the brocelium has expanded, and it's going to keep going. This is just the beginning. So going back to like what's happening on the other side of the world, I'm like, oh, that brocelium is reaching out there, you know. And so that compassion, that love, that understanding, the also understanding and holding space for that pain, you know, that suffering that we go through here as humans, that I've gone through, is because somebody showed me the way. You know, somebody showed me something that I was like, wait a minute, this makes sense. And so therefore, like, I could pay that forward. I could pass that forward to somebody else. And they're going to do that too. And they're going to do that too. And so us doing this, the big picture is us passing this on to the next generation, you know, to our children. Because then that's just going to be the way. Like, this is almost new to us, but imagine the next generation, this is just the way of being. Yeah. You know, where they're like, war? What do you mean? You know, suffering? Like, all these things are just an old way of being. Like, oh yeah, back in the days, they used to battle over borders, over colors, over, like, you know, I see the day that's not easy. That's just going to be maybe in some books that they read, but it's not a way of being. So we're creating this a new template for the way of being of the new humans that are coming. You know,
and that's where it hits me, because this job has impacted my life in so many ways, especially in being a father. Like for me, it's like being able to be a father of 3, being able to be there in the way that I am, right? Just fully as I am and what's there for me. It has made me stronger to serve. No, and I heard, I remember in Convergence, that was said. I don't remember, it was Philip, I don't remember. But it was beautiful and it struck me because if it wasn't for this, I wouldn't be able to have what I have now and to be able to support and create this safe space for my family as I've been able to. I didn't learn that outside. I was taught different. And here with other men, this is what I learned. To be a better father, to be a better man, to be a better human being, and to be of service. Because there's a saying that my mom used to always repeat to me in Spanish, is, si no vives para servir, no sirves para vivir. So if you don't live to serve, you don't serve to live. So we're here to serve. And like you mentioned, it's like how we're serving our families. Because it's service. I mean, raising children and supporting home, it's being of service, right? Example, being of service to my wife when she's in the process of postpartum, right? Being of service to her because, she's going to ask for a lot of stuff. I need this for the kids. I need that. She knows better than me what my children need. So I better be of service to her and bring what she needs. Not because she's counting on me and my children are counting on me because that's what they have. Me to look up to. So who are they looking up to? And me becoming this man of service it has made my heart bigger and bigger to a capacity where I can hold space now for other men too. First, it began with my family. Then it expanded to other men. And now it's just beautiful to be able to be just somebody that shares his story and somebody relates to that, and maybe they find that like, oh yeah, you helped me realize this, right? Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for sharing your heart, because through you sharing your heart, it hit my heart. And that's beautiful. And it's really just about being able to be your fully self without being apologetic for being what and who you are. Just being fully, because everything is welcome. All of you is welcome. And we repeat that over and over again because it is. It is. We're all welcome. And what if everybody in the world will welcome everything that you are? Then if everybody's welcoming to everything, then why would it have to be a problem? Like a war or something, right? Like a big conflict, because I'm open to everything that you are, to your culture, to your ways, to your prayers, to whatever is present for you. It's welcome. So it's welcoming. And that hits me right now. It's being welcome, like welcoming brothers from other parts to this land, welcome you, other brothers, into my heart. So that's what I can talk about. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, brothers. To me, I would have to say it has helped me to walk the talk. Basically, one word comes to mind, and it's embodiment. I used to read a lot. I used to get a lot of knowledge, to go to a lot of workshops, retreats, and gain a lot of knowledge. I'm not discrediting that, but I wasn't applying much of it in my daily life. I was, just talking. But one thing that comes to mind right now is, what am I doing when no one's looking? That's integrity. And that's walking the talk, right? And this work has led me to that. Has led me to when nobody's watching, the most important person is watching, actually. You know, and that's who I have to lead. I have to lead myself in order to be a better neighbor, a better son, a better brother, a better friend, a better whatever role I might have to take on out there as a man. And how am I going to step into that role? How am I going to apply all these things that I've learned into actually serving others, into actually being more empathetic with others, you know, actually opening up my heart and not just saying, listen to your heart, without even knowing or without even trying to listen to my heart. Before this work, I used to think, my heart is gonna tell me some words, you know, it has to talk me. But with that, after this work, I learned to actually listen to my heart. And I learned that it doesn't speak the same language as me. It gives me another different language, and now I can connect to it. And when I connect to it, I can connect to you, because I'm not looking at a person's skin or background or nationality. I'm feeling you. I'm feeling your energy. I'm feeling your warmth. I'm feeling your sadness. I'm crying alongside of you. I'm doing all this work alongside of you. So that's authenticity and integrity in my life. That's what it has brought to me. And with that, brothers, I would like us to share. What would you say to any brother who's out there in Latin America, in North America, in any part of the world, who are hesitant about joining this work? Because we know this. At least in the first time I came to a Sacred Sons event, I was hesitant. I was like, what am I doing? What? A weekend with only men? This sounds crazy, but there was a calling in me. So for every brother that's out there and that is thinking and doubting to join us or to step into this work, what would you tell them?
You know, as men, and also in society, the way it's built, there's almost a buffer, hesitancy to step into something. You know, there's a lot of anxiety, depression, things that almost are created to hold you back from seeking out an answer or seeking out help. And so, and not just society, but also even passed on from our parents, of like, hey, deal with it yourself, figure it out. And so if you feel that call or something stirring inside of you and you're not sure what to do, that's actually a good place to be in. And maybe at the bottom of the bucket, you may be going through loss, through grief, through questioning even your life. You might be at that point of like, is this even worth it to be here? So that, like, listen close, and this goes out to a brother that's out there that maybe has that right now at this moment, because we've been there. I've been there. I've been to the bottom, to the bottom of my bucket. And I've been like, there's only one way to look at this point is look up. And I was like, okay, somebody help me. And that's going back to what I said, that somebody did reach out that hand to me. Somebody said like, hey, I know a way. And I didn't know anything, and so this invitation goes out to a brother that's out there that maybe has those questions, that has that feeling of I don't know what to do, I don't know where to go, but something's got to change. And so we're creating this space of being able to come in, and it's an open invitation, like Manu was saying, like, all of you is welcome here. What does that mean? That means show up in how messy you are. Show up in the shame and the guilt and all that stuff that we think like, oh, I don't want to show that because people can't hold that. People won't understand what I've done in my life or what's been done to me. And yet when they come here, they're like, oh, wait a minute, this brother's been through something even worse. There's this like reconfiguration all of a sudden. Because I remember that moment when I was like, oh, wow, I thought I went through the worst thing. And then I hear somebody else's story and I'm like, ooh, wow, my heart opens up for you. So really sending this invitation out to those brothers that are feeling something. There's something stirring. You don't have to know you don't even have to know what it is. Just come over.
Yeah.
Just come over. And we'll figure it out together. Right? We'll all help each other figure it out. And this may continue, this work is a lifetime. So it's just going to continue because eventually the goal is like you'll extend that hand to another brother that's going to show up.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, pretty much where you're at right now. Just ask yourself that question, right? And what have you done to get out of that hasn't been working for you? Right? So, and you've tried probably various things and it's still not there. And that's what happened to me. I was trying this, that, meditation, breath work, blah, 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 blah. And I just still was feeling frustrated and something was missing. And then when I stepped into this job, it was like, this work, it was like, oh yeah, this was missing. Opening my heart, being more human, connecting to other men. So it was just about connection, So if you want connection in your life, you'll definitely find connection here. Connection to others, connection to self, connection to spirit. So if you're looking for that connection and that sense of a higher purpose, brother, this is it. Because I found it here. And for me, it changed my whole life 180 degrees. So I always talk through my experience, like, yeah. Because if you feel this calling and if you're feeling it in your heart right now, you're going to definitely find something here. And that's something, brother, I tell you, for me, it was love to self, love to others too. Because through connection, I found love in a different way. Not just like Ivan said, just think about it or knowing, but being and feeling, you know? And that would be it. That would be my invitation to try something new that you haven't tried before, and just remove expectations and bring intention to this place. That would be it.
Thank you, my brothers. Yeah, for me, I'll keep it short. I think we have a saying here in Mexico: you don't get in the line of tortillas when when what you want to buy is bread. So if you're hesitant, if there's a questioning about coming, that's the calling to me. You know, so just show up, just come. We'll figure it out together, as you said.
That was beautiful.
Something's gonna happen here, but together. There's power when men get together and pray and sing and grieve and work
And laugh.
and laugh.
Have fun.
Praise, because we also do that. So,
Hunga.
so I would just say, just show up, brother. We're here for you, and we got you. Check out Sacred Sons Instagram, website. There's events all over the world, EMXs, immersions. There's places, brother. You're not alone. The time of the lone wolf has ended. We are here. Just show up. Give us a call. Look out for help, because we are here and we're stronger together, and we go farther together. So, sending you blessings, much love. Appreciate both of you, mis
Thank
hermanos.
you, hermano.
Vengan a México, Tepoztlán, vamos a Latinoamérica.
Colombia is coming. Watch out. Colombia is coming this year.
So, open invitation, brothers. Check out Sacred Sons. Much love, much blessings, and see you in the next one.